Ahoy!
Greetings.
Ahoy all! This is your boy Ryan.
It's your boy Easy.
And this is Turtle Soup.
It's what?
Soup. Wow. I got so as soon as you get so far ahead of yourself, you're like, I'm gonna reel off a good one this time. You go Turtle Soup and you stand there.
Yeah.
Like you just go, what? So
What? I can hear us again.
So the problem, oh God, this is falling apart. So I had the stream on my phone.
Right.
So I could see, because we had the music wasn't playing.
Right.
And I wanted to see if it had music. But the problem is I have YouTube Premium. So if I close YouTube, it's still playing.
It's still playing.
Well, normally I'd know that. But there's no music. Man. So it was silent.
Sounds like privilege right there.
That's privilege.
Yep.
It cost me like $5 a month. So there you go.
There you go.
This is Turtle Soup, the internet, nay, the world's only community sport podcast dedicated to the ongoing journey of the TMNT all the way from the very beginning until my son gets in trouble again.
Okay.
So I can ban him from video games again. So he can't play video games like he is now.
Oh, wait.
So that I can just grind Mass Effect 3. You know what I'm saying? And not have any competition for PS4 time.
There you go. Yeah.
I like that. Who knows?
It may.
But he got his rights back, and the problem is now I got to share that time again.
Now he's got too much freedom.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a little bit too much freedom.
Yeah.
Don't ever let it. Don't ever let him tell me you can't have too much of a good thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what happened. So, anyways, that is how long the podcast is going to last. So we'll see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I never thought I'd be cheering on the active end of this podcast, but here we are. We are also here live on YouTube. If you are not watching that, if you're not subscribed to that, go subscribe to that. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance to win you got a chance to win the party wagon.
The party wagon.
DVD set. If you just go subscribe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like there you go. You get in there. You hit the bell icon. You know what I'm saying? Get all the notifications of all the new videos, all the new live streams. And if you're watching, share the stream on social media and let people know that we're live, because that helps out the show a massive amount. And speaking of people that help out the show in a huge, huge way, ways that we can't even quite comprehend, yet it still happens, there are two patrons that this episode is dedicated to today. Those patrons are Jono Barnes and Ryan Bolton. You know what I'm saying?
Woo,
this is for y'all. Yeah. If you want to become a patron, just go to patreon.com, check out Turtle Soup Show, see what we've done by making the podcast. Little as $1, you know what I'm saying? You get some cool rewards, help out the show. We don't say clang. We can count on you. You know what I'm saying? Limited time only. Sign up now and send us an email and say, dude, I'm just on Patreon. And we'll be like, this is your Foot Clan alternate Foot Clan color.
We got to get on
teal
that.
One. You're the teal guy with the bomb. That if you drop it, it'll cover everybody and you. All those things. You can get all that on Patreon, so check that out. What we're checking out today, though, is another story. So, Eric, where are we at in the journey today, good sir?
Man, we are all the way back in 1996, October to be specific. It's kind of odd how almost like we're just about a month off from being right on with the actual air dates of these episodes.
But, it's getting close, yeah.
Yeah, but we're back in October 26th of 1996 with Season 10, Episode 7, The Day the Earth Disappeared, of the 1987 animated series of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ryan.
The penultimate episode. You know what I'm saying?
This is it.
Now, guys, don't forget, we dropped this at the end of last episode, a little programming note, but if you didn't make it to the end of the last episode for some reason, next week's episode will not be Thursday night, everybody.
Right.
It will be Saturday night at 8 o'clock. It is going to be prime time. You know what I'm saying? Normally it's prime time on Thursdays. It's ultra prime time. You know what I'm saying? We are hyper mutated. We're going back to college. We are going to be there Saturday night. Yes, that's true. Motorcycle. I'm going to walk out of the room and not tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky I'm telling you that we're going to be there on Saturday. Because normally I just walk right out of the room.
Just walk right out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where'd you go? Where are you going, Ryan? I'm going to go be live at 8 o'clock Saturday to do the last episode of the animated series, and no one ever knows until they ask me. So consider yourself lucky. We're going to be there, though, and Saturday 8 o'clock, we are going to be dropping that last episode, Divide and Conquer, talking about the overall animated series. It's been a long, long journey, and
it has.
We might cry, who knows? And that's what we're doing there. So be sure to be there. You know what I'm saying? This episode, I'm just gonna tell you right now. I mean, I'm gonna pull back the curtain. Eric reviewed his part. I reviewed my part. Eric goes, we almost we literally were like the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Where he goes, There's not a lot actually in this episode. I go, actually, there's a crap ton in this episode. What are you talking about? And like, and now we're just trying to see which way it goes. So,
Yeah.
so you're gonna see, forces collide.
Right. We had like
review.
a whole text. Like, I'm at work and I get this message from Ryan, be like, "Yo, there's like a lot to this." I'm like, "I don't think you watched the right episode, my man. Like, did we watch the same episode?" And that old
same episode.
Right, that old chestnut. But yeah, so I am like,
jeez.
and we haven't discussed like where our discrepancies are. So, well,
No.
it's going to be interesting to see like what you picked up on that I missed. And
we will see.
So I am excited about getting into this. So
we will see.
Yeah.
Speaking of things you're excited to get into, are you excited to get into emails? You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
always.
We got a couple. We got
two?
Those emails.
All right, let's do it.
Those emails coming.
Do you need the email opener? I don't know where my email
sure,
opener
do it.
is.
Run it.
I got.
There we go. The digital knife.
Yeah, the digital knife. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I didn't know if you could
got
manifest it yet or not. I don't know if we have.
Yeah,
we don't have that technology
yet.
yet.
You got the digital knife. This is a little update. This is John Klein, your boy John Klein III. You know what I mean? Like, he stays near and dear to the show, and he's taking care of our business and checking things behind the back. We don't even know what he's doing. He just does this thing. You know what I'm saying? John Klein III. If you need him, he takes care of it.
He's there.
So John Klein dropped us an email that included like the kind of an email chain he had with one Dr. Daniel R. Evans, who is a research biologist for the Sea Turtle Grants Program. Checking up on the status of Chet, the turtle that Mike Hatfield adopted in our name, named him Chet, and all that stuff. Checking out the status on Chet. He dropped Chet's tag number to this doctor. He was like, "Look,
snap!
Wondering if you've seen him around or whatever," and this and that. So Dr. Evans replied and said that that he checked the database, but that Chet has not been encountered since 2012. So Chet is keeping it so low key. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your boy John Klein came back with me after that forward. He said, "I don't even know if you should read this on the show, but whatever." I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna have to do that because you did all that work." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not concerned in the least that Chet hasn't been encountered since 2012 because honestly, like they gotta encounter him. You know what I'm saying? Like Chet don't make a business out of just like hanging around. You know what I'm saying? Like Chet
he's not that kind of
babies. Like Chet's living like Chet's a family man. You know what I'm saying? He's taking care of himself. Yearly, we should like literally because we have the email with the tag number now. We should like yearly check in with Dr. Dan. You know what I'm saying, and make sure. That
we
Chet
definitely need
resurfaced.
to. Yeah, I'm kind of curious now that we have that number because I saw a turtle in a tank with a bunch of mermaids that were holding the American flag and to the tune of Lee Greenwood's "Proud to Be an American" in Wikiwachi the other day, and I had suspicions that this turtle being might have been Chet or a relative. Now that we have the number, we might have to go back
to him.
I felt like there was something there, like it's like
back and forth, like a give take kind of thing.
Just like at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, when Alfred sees Bruce, it was very similar to that.
That little look.
That look. I'll see if I can find a picture of the turtle in question here, and post it somewhere. But that might have been Chet. I don't know. We'll have to see. But either way, I'm sure he's doing fine because if that is him. I mean, he's hanging out with merbabes and making money, just doing his thing. And Lee Greenwood, like he's in the catbird seat of turtle jobs, and
absolutely the turtle bird seat, if you will.
The turtle bird seat, if you will.
Yeah.
Goodness. But yeah, thank you so much for looking that up.
Yeah, thanks, John. That kind of made my day. I was like, checking on Chet. I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate that. That's awesome. So you know when it's animated series time, you know who has to step up and make their voice heard.
Yes.
It's your boy Malik again.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's coming in hot.
Yep.
He opens this thing up with a vast Turtletarians, which sounds like how I would open a show and then immediately say Turtle Sep after.
Right, exactly. And they ruin it all. Right.
It be your golden boy from Georgia, Malik. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Here we go.
All right.
Tonight's TMNT, I like this because he's setting the stage for this penultimate episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, your boy Malik does that, and I'm a fan.
He does. Here
we go. Right?
Yeah.
This is like the warm-up. This is the warm-up for what we're about to get into.
Okay.
Tonight's TMNT adventure, The Day the Earth Disappeared. This episode marks the return of Donnie's portable portal generator. Oh, we're going to get into that.
Oh, yeah.
Which last showed up in Season 5's Landlord of the Flies. Alas, this episode also marks the final time in the series in which Splinter takes a proactive role during an adventure.
Mm.
Also, bid arrivederci to the Dreadnought. This is going to be the last time we see it before the series ends.
Oh, okay.
In turtle-related news, I kind of like that. I like knowing that going in, though, a little bit.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me appreciate it a little more.
It does.
So in turtle-related news, during my recent trip to New York, I purchased Volume 1 of TMNT The Ultimate Collection, which includes the first issue, 7 issues of the Mirage Studios run, along with the Raphael one-shot.
Right.
I figured it'll be neat to spend a rainy day reading them while listening to the episodes where you guys look at those issues. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I had that book like
I
dead
just
like right there, right near his lap. That
I
was
did.
like early episodes.
I just packed them
first
away
run.
because we're still getting ready to move, and I just put them in a box. I'm like, oh, it's so sad, but I'll see them again.
Ooh,
but
ooh,
yeah, no, they're
those
good books.
hardcovers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. Also, remember when you guys looked over the Turtlemobile when you were looking at the TMNT toy line? Well, you didn't find a bio for it on TMNT Toys, but I found scans of the box and as such have managed to record my reading of the on-box bio. So he includes the MP3 and M4A because Malik's prepared.
Yeah, yeah.
Of him reading those. And he says, well, by the time you get this, I'll either be asleep or downstairs making eggs at 4 in the morning. So I should probably wrap this up. And then also, according to the 2012 show, turtle soup translates to Japanese as supan nebe. Guess your listeners in Japan know what to call you now. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Else time, Malik. Well, Malik, we are a little pressed for time in this episode. So what we're going to do is I actually listened to your reading. It's actually really good. I think
excited.
the next time we get into toys,
Yeah.
we're going to drop this. You know what I'm saying? So I flagged this bad boy to put it a little bit more in its own context. You know what I'm saying? In the toy run. So I got that noted down here.
And
so we'll read that because I
Yeah.
think that was in the era before we started really looking extensively for box scans. Like that was
Right.
like some of our earliest stuff where it was like if TMNTtoys.com, which shout out because that's an amazing site.
Oh,
if they
absolutely.
didn't have it, we were like, well, I guess it doesn't exist.
Right.
Moved on.
or
no
they
one
had
ever knew
it.
what it said.
Right. Or they had it and we just assumed that it was going to be readable. But then we look and it's not.
God.
And then, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But also that was the times when the old hard drive, back when we had that. So I might have had a list of the things that we needed, and it is gone the way of the buffalo with that thing. So if Turtletarians, if you have like come across anything where we had a situation like this where we didn't get to read that or cover that or whatever the case may be, let us know and hit us back up because I mean, worst case scenario, if we go back over something that's funny, I mean, it's like it's not the end of the world. But
we don't want a leaky boat. You know
We
what I'm
do
saying?
not.
Like we can't have a leaky boat on this journey. So if there's any like holes in the hull, we gotta patch them up.
We gotta patch them up.
But yeah, Malik, thanks so much for your email, man. Love that stuff. I know you're gonna probably have a really good one for Divide and Conquer, so I'm looking forward to reading down the show before we hit that up. On Saturday, 8:00, y'all. Don't forget. Okay, that's happening.
Real quick,
so that would.
Did we say we said next Saturday, right? So not like
Next
2 days from
Saturday.
now. Okay, I had this memory or this
No.
thing where I'm like, are they thinking we're gonna do it 2 days from now? Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
We should probably start. It is going to be Saturday, October 9th
There we go. Okay,
at 8:00. Saturday, October 9th. We're gonna post about it all on Facebook, all on in Discord, Insta, anywhere we can to make sure that it gets out as much as possible, as well as drop it on the show as well.
right.
So before we get into the review, we do need to shout out the 2 contests we have going on right now. Because I kind of skipped over that in the very beginning. So the first one, as you guys know, Ryan's Radically Rewatchable Rerun Raffle. You know what I'm saying? Win my full Turtle Van animated series on DVD run. You know what I'm saying? You can subscribe. So it's run like a raffle. So you go to subscribe to YouTube, get a ticket. Comment on a video, get another ticket. Be a patron. If you're a patron, you get a ticket. That's just an extra ticket.
Yep.
And then the fourth thing is in our Turtle Soup. Turtles Come Out and Fight That email contest, and that gets you another entry, as well as that's just its own contest where you can win sweet Turtle Soup swag. So do those things. We're going to be after October 9th. We're going to take a week off after that, right? We're going to take a week off. We're going to charge the batteries. Getting ready to move into the next phase of the show and cover some different stuff. So we'll have that week. Okay, so after October 9th, we do the last episode. during that week of time where there's no podcast, we are going to get all this stuff together in a spreadsheet, and we're going to go ahead and draw that winner. Okay, so that winner will be announced when we come back. You know what I mean? The next Thursday after that week off.
Right.
So get in all those things. You know, subscribe, hit that email contest. If you're a patron, become a patron. If you're already a patron, you get a ticket. It's all good. And drop a comment to get all those things. The Trolls Come Out and Fight That email contest is effectively we're flipping the script. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're flipping the script. Normally, y'all tell us like, hey, my neighbor sucks real bad. How do the Turtles come out and fight him? But now we're asking you, how do the Turtles come out and fight something? And you email us with like I said, we're brave. We're definitely grading this email contest on brevity. We're grading it on humor and originality. But the question is, how do the Turtles come out and fight the ending of their animated series and the general overall like decline of the Turtles in the mid to late 90s?
Right.
Like, they see the writing on the wall. They ain't getting those ratings. Batman animated series kicking their ass. X-Men kicking their ass, getting real bad. Okay, and they're kind of like, how do the Turtles come out and fight that?
Right.
Like, how do they figure that out? You know what I mean? Write us that into turtlesupershow@gmail.com, and we will gather those up. We're going to read all those on its own little special episode that's dedicated just to that. That's going to be a video, and we'll name the winner on there. So that's all of our current contests and things that we're doing.
Indeed.
So make sure you get your butt over there and do that. So without further ado, my man.
Yes.
My Eric Crosby, the man that has held my hand. And there was only one set of flip-flop footprints.
Exactly.
In the sand, because you were carrying me the
I
whole
was
time.
carrying you the whole time.
Series. Are you ready to hop into the penultimate episode?
I think so. I think I'm ready.
87 animated series.
I think so, man. Let's do it.
Oh, drama face. It's episode 7. It's no big deal. It is season 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's the last episode, the last season of the 1987 animated series. We are on and in October 26th, 1996, reviewing episode 7, The Day the Earth Disappeared. Oh my God, it's almost over. This is crazy. So, this episode was written by Jeffrey Scott, directed by Tony Love, but as we know, kind of a lot of David Wise action happening in here as far as writing and helping out stuff goes. It's credited to Jeffrey Scott. David Wise is not giving credit, but it's definitely known that David Wise did a huge hand in the last 3 episodes of the 10th season, walking us out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Eric, man, are you ready? Are you ready to get into this thing? Because I
am, but
it's feeling bittersweet.
It is, and every time I try to say the title of this episode, I want to say The Day the Earth Stood Still. Like, I have to tell myself actively.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I had to tell myself actively, no, that is not the same thing. You can't just say that.
That appeals to every bit of my doomsday sci-fi vibes.
Right, exactly, and that's what this feels like.
Does the Earth disappear? Does it? I mean, you'll have to see.
It depends. It depends on where you're looking, where your eyes are set. I mean, if your eyes are on the Lord, you can't see the Earth disappear. You know what I'm saying? So,
if your eyes are on the horizon, do you
that
see
too?
anything?
You can't see anything. And if and if you teleport a sun into a ship, it doesn't disappear, which is oddly enough, it's still there. It was still there. But yeah, just like us in doing this episode.
Tonight we'll find out what happens if you teleport a black hole into something.
Exactly.
Curious about that bit of physics. We're going to figure that one out right now.
That is what I'm most eager to learn tonight about this episode.
So, just so y'all know, we're back in the action zone. You know what I'm saying? That's how this episode definitely opens up on DVD. And we're back in the action zone. You know what I'm saying? Target acquired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Target locking on TMNT animated series. Oh yeah. CBS Action Zone looking like it's about to be Monday Night Football. You know
it
what I mean?
is. It is.
Like, are you ready for some turtles? It's going down. You know
that
what
song,
I mean?
like if they would have done a parody of that song instead of what they did for these last couple seasons, that would have been infinitely more better. But
it'd be really good.
Unfortunately, we got what we got. So
get Hank out there. You know what I mean? You have Hank out there singing it. It'd be great. It'd be absolutely great. So we're back, and like I said, this is The Day the Earth Disappeared, the 7th episode of the 10th season. Here we go. In them streets. This episode comes out hot. It's hot.
Oh yeah.
This episode comes out, cities crumbling, falling apart, due to some kind of anomalous tectonic activity. That's what Donnie says. You know what I'm saying? That's what he told us.
That's what he told us.
Just while this is happening, like a huge hole opens in the street and like a little mini volcano comes out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's bedlam out here, man. It is like crazy times. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't turn back and look at this bad boy. You turn into salt. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen to you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's real bad. All of a sudden, the dreadnought warps into the skies above the city, opens up its little airlock hatch, and spouts out a squad of power-armored Batmen with no wings.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've seen this design.
Yeah.
I actually really like it.
I do too.
But it's funny because later in the episode, we see normal Batman aboard the Dreadnought. So this is a different class of Batman, or something. Like, this is a different Batman alien rig. It's like a different design.
Right. It doesn't it's a little off-putting because like all this scenario is like they've been on Earth before. So why do they need this? So like it's not like they need the helmet so they can breathe. Like they've done this before.
Yeah.
And they have wings,
assume that helmet, we assume that's for breathing. That could just be like space tech, like that could be laser-proof plastic, bitches. Losers.
I think it was losers. I think it was losers that Crane said.
Losers. Yeah, I mean that could be laser-proof plastic, losers. You don't know. I mean,
that's true. I didn't think about that.
It's got great visibility.
Absolutely,
it's got better visibility than any helmet you'd have.
That's true.
But I do like it. But we do see these guys. They actually come in via parachute because they don't have wings. So they deploy and they like basically halo jump like right around the turtles. And the turtles like get to fighting, but like they're getting overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? And right when they're getting overwhelmed, who shows up? Your boy Dregg. Your boy Dregg warps in. He's just like, gotcha, boys. Yeah, it's over now.
Right.
And then he like pulls out basically a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber. I'm just gonna say it. He pulls out a lightsaber and swings it at Leo's ninjatos, and it shatters them.
Yeah.
It doesn't like cut them as illustrated. It breaks them like as if he hit it with like something like hard.
Yeah.
It breaks it instead of like cutting it. It's really weird. But yeah, ninjatos get like absolutely like one shot, one kill destroyed.
Right.
Which is not a great look for Leo. He's
not at all.
Left holding some short swords. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the turtles wind up getting cornered in an alley, and the Batmen unleash what is now a lime green goo. They changed the goo, probably for the better, from the white, which had a damn near 7-episode joke running.
Yeah.
The entire season.
Oh,
They go to green, and I like the lime green look. Fan of that. And they start shooting it, but this stuff's a little different, right? Like this goo's built different.
It is.
It doesn't stick you.
Right.
It like covers you and then freezes you.
Yeah.
And that's what winds up happening to the turtles. Like they get frozen kind of in mid, like, oh my God pose. And then Dregg's like, all right, cool. And he pulls out what looks like a really old TV remote.
Yeah.
And zaps them with an energy beam, and they shatter into little pieces. And that's the end of the episode. So the turtles are dead. It was pretty quick. It got real hot and heavy. I mean, you figure sometimes things end really abruptly, and
right.
It's kind of realistic. I think that, obviously at this point we can tell you that episode 8 is just this image.
Right.
Just with like I will remember you. Like just over that for like 22 minutes.
Right.
And I don't know. So what do you think about this episode, man? Like,
I thought it was
all
great.
up to be, or
yeah, I liked how it was short and quick and to the point, and it's like, you know, Dregg wins. Like that's just plain and simple. And I mean, you basically
he overwhelmed them.
You goo them, and then they're gone.
You goo them, freeze them, and you shatter them. I mean, it's a T1000 fix. You know what I'm saying? From T2. That's how we fix that.
Absolutely.
But psych, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, what?
Your boy Leo and Mikey hop out of a manhole, y'all.
Yeah.
They come up, surprising the living shit out of Dregg. Dregg's like, I'm insane now. Like, Dregg just got done seeing Turtles to the Second Power. You know what I'm saying? Where there was like two sets of turtles. He's like, well, I'm going crazy. Now he kills turtles, and 2 turtles come out of a manhole. He's like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Is this just how this is now?
Yeah.
Is this my life now? Like, am I just crazy? So Leo explains. He claims that they saw Dregg coming from a mile away, and prepared some very lifelike holograms to fool him.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
Holograms.
I guess Turtle's got hard light holograms now.
In the sewer. That just came down the sewer, just down the drain. Someone flushed their hard
light
light
technology.
holograms.
I mean, like, yeah, no, I mean, someone really shouldn't have flushed their hard light hologram technology down the toilet. You know what I mean? Giving it straight to the Turtles. But here's where we are. You know what I'm saying? So Mikey then, like, and the party wagon's like slowly approaching with Donnie and Raph in it, and they're kind of like, you know, backing Dregg into the corner with like the rooftop guns, and Mikey then very slowly disarms two of the Batmen with the magical grappling hook.
Very slowly.
Like, I'll take that gun, whip, and the other guy's like, did he just take your gun? And then Mikey's like, I'll take that gun, thank you. And the guy's like, oh, he got me. I couldn't prepare. And then, he and Leo both shoot the magic sauce. You know what I'm saying? Right at your boys, and freeze them right in place. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. Dregg then swears revenge, and then has Mung beam him and the frozen Batmen back up to the Dreadnought.
Right.
Aboard the Dreadnought, we find that actually Dregg and Mung are watching game film from a previous encounter with the Turtles that we never got to see.
Yeah, that was
this
nuts.
Is kind of confusing because the Batmen have always had wings.
Yeah.
And Mung and the Batmen are relatively like new additions to the show.
Right.
So it's very interesting that they're like, oh no, we had the city crumbled at one point. There was like volcanoes coming out, and we never saw it.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
that was wild. I do love when animated shows do this. I don't like the bait and switch so much. That kind of rubs me a little bit wrong. But
well, it's already happened a number of times this season. Like
absolutely,
they've done this open where it's like, but it was a dream or whatever. But or it was a they did the dream one. They did the simulation one.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And now there's this one. So this is the third out of 10 episodes. 30%.
When you put it that way,
sorry.
Yeah.
3 of them out of 8, just under 50% have an opening that's a false opening. So I think it starts to lose its effect a little bit.
It does, but like I think this one is the least.
I still like it though.
I still like this one the most. Like this one has more of a purpose because like the dream or the simulation, they redeemed the simulation a little bit in my opinion because they brought it back. Where they made the Dregg think that the sun was actually falling on the earth or whatever, and the League of Nations
that
was
could
like
be the actual best one.
So that one was good.
They do bring it back, and that's in the trilogy.
That's
pretty good.
And that so that redeems itself. But as far as like just just if it happens one time, this version, this attempt is probably my favorite because it shows the character of the villain or the antagonist that they're studying up, and I appreciate that, and it's cool because you get to see something that you like. It still happened. Like this is it's not like where it's a dream or a simulation where that didn't happen.
That's a good point. That's a good point. This is game film. This happened before, and like and that's kind of the conversation to get into because Mung's like, why are we sitting here watching old game tape? I thought you wanted to like conquer Earth. And Dregg's like, well, this is how we get better. So, like, and Dregg's like, this is what I do. Like, I analyze like my thing. Like, like, you should probably ask High Tech about. Oh, I'm sorry, no, High Tech's not here anymore.
Oh yeah, no, he's gone.
But this is what I do. On Sunday we watch film and we figure out how we're gonna take the Turtles back over. How we're gonna beat them. So after that conversation, Mung informs Dregg that the 4th iteration this season of the vortex transporter is complete. You know what I'm saying? And I'd say, man, Dregg really leans on that thing. Dregg needs to have a vortex transporter before he even like puts his like work boots on. You know what I'm saying? He's like, gets out of bed. He's like, how about that vortex transporter? Mung's like, it'll be another 48 hours, boss. And he's like, guess I'm gonna go to sleep for 48 hours because like I can't operate without this thing. Like he has to have that thing, and it feels like early on, like. The building of the vortex transporter was like an entire plot to a whole episode of this show earlier.
It did.
Now they just build them now.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like, well,
you've done it so many times.
One up for you.
Yeah, you do it so many times.
You're right. It's an iterative process. You're right. Yeah. They get better and better. Not, you know what? You redeem that one for me.
There we go. That's what I'm here for.
But yeah, this is the 4th one. It feels like every morning Dregg wakes up, he's like, like that's the first thing on Mung's like to-do list. It's like, build me another vortex transporter before I'm done like brushing my teeth, and then I can get to work. We should make a shirt of Dregg, and instead of saying "but first coffee," it should say
Right.
"but first vortex transporter."
Oh, we
And
could.
it has
We
him
might.
like holding his hand up, like Drake, like you
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
That'd be amazing.
looking super tired.
Mhm.
That'd be pretty great. So Dregg unveils his new plan and his thinking behind it. You see, Dregg figured that he's always been failing to capture Earth because he's always attacking a planet in enemy territory. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, he's going
Yeah.
against the Sun Tzu of it all.
Mhm.
But if he could find a way to simply move the actual planet Earth to Dimension
Right.
X, he'd be fighting in a territory he controls. And so he would win. And that's exactly what he plans to do. So he hooks up the vortex transporter, mint condition, you know what I'm saying, straight off the lot, to the nuclear engines on the Dreadnought, and that will allow him to be able to warp the Earth into Dimension X and place it in orbit of a new sun, and he's going to conquer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to say, Dregg, another bold move, sir. You know,
Yep.
another bold move in your direction.
Go big or go
Krang,
home.
see everybody, and Dregg even did it once, just you know, I guess paying homage to tradition.
Right.
The whole thing in this universe is villain open portal, bring warships to Earth. That's happened like 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
So Dregg did it once. Dregg was like, "I'll bring my fleet," and he realized that doesn't work because the turtles
No.
shut the damn thing. That's what they do.
Right.
It's like it takes too long to bring the fleet, and they shut the thing, and then you don't get it in.
Right.
So Dregg's really thinking outside the box, and
He
and I
is.
like the bold move here. I do like the idea of like I'll just move it,
I mean,
and then you don't, and then all my forces are here.
right.
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
good.
It's like what I was trying to think of a sports analogy. Like, what is this? Like 4th and down? Like he's got a.
Wait, excuse me.
I was trying to think of a sports analogy to be like he's at the end of the this is his. He only has one more attempt to win this game.
4th and goal, bro.
Fourth and goal. That's what I meant to say.
4th and goal.
And-
4th and
and-
goal. Like he's
so
like
he's going for it.
He's looking at the contract for this animated series. He's like, "All right, Mung, it's overtime, bro. We're 4th and goal here because we got this episode and we got next episode.
Right.
That's all. That's all
That's
we
all.
can do.
That's all we got.
We got 2 more episodes to conquer the Earth. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, yeah. So Mung, Mung is directed to quote open the warp, which is frankly something you should never do.
Never. No matter
But he
who
does
says it. Yeah.
And instead of like warp-born entities coming out like 40K, it just opens up like a vortex thing,
Yeah.
right? But never open the warp.
Never do it.
That's just not a good idea.
Nope.
Back in the lair, the newly minted but honestly very effective early warning system goes off again. Donnie figured this. I wish Donnie would have had this early on. He had versions of this. He had little like a thing that would detect like someone trying to break into the sewer, or one that would detect like someone like trying to break into a bank. But like he didn't have this. This is like an overall early warning system. It predicts like, yo, something's going down with like the city or the planet, that something sketchy is going on villain style.
Right.
But what I actually really love about it is that he has to actually track down what it is. Like the alarm goes off, but he's like,
but he doesn't know.
okay, but what is it going off for?
Right.
I appreciate that. So Donnie stays by the computer. He's checking all the things out on the computer, while the other guys run to check out like the sewer tunnels. Nothing there. Leo runs all the way out to like the classic sewer pipe exit you always see,
Right.
where like the party wagon comes out of, like kind of around that beach area. He goes check that, but like the gate's down and there's nothing going on. And they come back to Donnie and they're kind of like, yeah, like we don't know, man. It's not like here. That's when Donnie registers a very disturbing anomaly occurring with the Earth's magnetic field, which could be disastrous, and he's not wrong. That magnetic field's very important in real life, y'all.
Right.
Dead serious. Like,
Yeah.
it's what keeps the actual atmosphere on our planet. Like if we didn't have the Earth's electromagnetic field, literally like the sun, like solar energy would just blow the gases off the planet. Like, so when Donnie sees that something's wrong with the magnetic field of the Earth, he's like, that's real bad. So cut to April's super cool apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
April's just chilling, like working on another like turtle-free news story.
Windows
Actually,
open.
Look, Eric, look, there's me on the couch.
Oh, that's you on the couch.
You see?
Oh, yeah, I can see.
Like
Look
I'm
at
reading
you
a
there.
book.
Yeah.
Nice warm cup of Earl Grey in my hand. You
Some
know what
chill
I'm saying?
hot
While
playing in the
rain
background.
falls softly. Rain falls softly outside the open window, but
Open
no
window.
one's getting in. It's just
No.
I can hear it though. the comforting hum and soft click of April's computer processing that internet data. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That dot matrix
Like
printer.
everything's that dot matrix printer just about to fire up.
But so
It's doing that. And I'm like,
oh
I'm
yeah.
just sitting there, it's still the early afternoon. You know what I'm saying? There's all kind of time. All
So
kind of time.
there's all kinds of time, but especially time for April to get like multiple monitors. Like she's one monitor away from being a supervillain because the one on the far left is a television that doesn't count. But but she's one monitor away from supervillain.
But I mean, unfortunately for April, and we're still figuring this out with the apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been trying to tell her like when I'm over there, but like she's an independent spirit. You got to have the monitors closer, April. That's what I tell her. Like April, you got to have them closer because you got to get on that screen on screen. You got to move. You know what I'm saying? Like now, you're having to turn your whole body to look at the monitors. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She'll find it in her own way. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, but that's me over there hanging out. It's pretty cool. Anyways, all of a sudden, April's computer starts acting up. She slams her fist into the monitor, warding off yet another virus.
Yep. Which is how you do it.
And then is assaulted by a very strong wind coming from the window. Pretty intense. It made me get up off the couch. You know what I'm saying? I got off the couch. I was like, this is like not chill anymore, yeah.
No.
And she's like, well, I mean, like, excuse me. She turns and says, what are you doing here? I'm like, we're hanging out. She's like, who are you? It was this whole thing.
It was the thing. Yeah.
So walking over to see what's going on and probably walking over to close the window, April notices the vortex is now visible in the sky above Earth. Mm-hmm. And she starts freaking out, rightfully.
Yeah.
What is this?
Mm-hmm.
So back in the lair, at the same time, simultaneously, the Turtles also notice the vortex through like Donnie's computer monitor. And Donnie T informs everyone that his sensors report that the vortex leads to Dimension X, and that it grows ever wider, currently sitting at 1,000 miles wide and growing at a rate of 3,000 miles per hour in diameter. Leo takes 1 second and concludes correctly that in just a little over 2 hours, the vortex will be large enough to envelop the Earth, which is dead on given that the Earth's diameter is a mere 7,917.5 miles wide.
That's not very big.
79. It's not.
No.
You could drive through the diameter of the Earth and be a little late for an oil change.
Right. Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, I just started running numbers on this. Because I guess it just seems too small to me.
It does.
Only like
it does.
8,000 miles, like the whole Earth is only 8,000 miles wide.
But they did write
in diameter. I was like, excuse me?
Right, but they did write a song about how small the world is, didn't they? For that Disney
I don't know
thing.
what song you're talking about.
That I can't remember what it. I can't remember who sang it or how it goes, but it's something about there being a small world. Like it's a small world, like something about that. The lyrics escape me, but I think
the world is small after all.
Like, yeah, like after all, like it's a small world. Like after all, it it's a small world. Like, but I get that that's the point, but I don't remember the lyrics.
Did you know that if your car got 28 miles per gallon on average, okay, the whole trip, if you drove through the center of the Earth to the other side, would only consume 282.76 gallons of fuel.
Dang.
And if you paid $3 a gallon, it would only cost $850 to drive through the Earth.
That's not a lot.
Not even
a lot of money.
Not even $1,000.
Yeah.
Not even $1,000
under $1K
to drive through the center of the Earth.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Why is Earth so small?
Yeah.
God.
Wild.
Oh, God. I got on this whole thing today with that.
I understand.
Getting back to it.
Okay.
The Turtles figure their best shot is to somehow find the source of the warp power and stop it. Because that's the tech. That's what they do every time. Got to stop it at the source. But the problem is the vortex is 1,000 miles above the Earth.
Right.
Which Raphael does confirm is much too high for a teenage mutant bald eagle to fly through.
Yes.
So
I love that.
We finally get to set that bet straight, Eric, and I'm going to need my $5.
I'll get it to you.
I told you it was too high.
I know.
I told you it's too high.
I know.
I said there's no air up there, Eric.
You told me.
Eric goes,
That's
well,
what
how
you
do you
told
know
me.
that? Then I said, because science said. And you're like, well, have you ever seen it? Have you ever suffocated in the air?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And you're like, well, I guess it's undecided. But now here we go.
But now it's decided.
You know what I'm
Here we
saying?
go. Got it.
There we go. Donnie then blows the dust off of the portable portal generator, which we have not seen since season 5.
Yeah.
Feeling very confident that it functions correctly and can bridge the gap between the vortex and Earth. Back on the Dreadnought, Mung discovers that someone is trying to interfere with the vortex process on Earth.
Right.
So Dregg throws like a little mini tantrum. He's doing that a lot. This episode's full of Dregg being kind of petulant, and it's just going to get worse.
Yes.
And demands that Mung activate the black hole part of the plan to suck whoever is interfering on Earth into Dimension X so they get their just desserts.
Right.
So just to cover this, because they don't really explain this in the beginning, but this is the actual full plan.
Yeah.
We open Vortex, which is just basically a large dilated hole between the Sol system
Right.
and Dimension X. Then we activate a black hole on the Dimension X side, right near the portal, to suck Earth through the hole.
Yeah.
Dregg wants to activate this early to suck out the people on Earth that are trying to mess with the vortex situation.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
honestly, like, Mung's like, that would be really dangerous. And he's like, do it anyway. And Mung's like, okay.
Yeah.
Let me sprinkle that black hole sauce into that vortex and see how you like it, Daddy.
See how you like it.
Saying? In the lair, Donnie is trying to sell the turtles on his big plan to just hop into the portable portal generator like that thing ever worked.
Yeah.
But the other guys are having none of it, citing the portable power, the portable portal generators spotty track record, which I actually really appreciate.
Yeah.
I love that they have the memory of this, that they don't have classic TAS like amnesia. Like, they're like, that thing sucks.
Yeah.
We remember it, and that thing sucks. And I was a huge fan of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge fan of that. Nobody. And at one point, they cut to Splinter. Like, and Raphael almost appeals to, he says his own thing, but he kind of almost like appeals in Splinter's direction. Splinter's on hush mouth. Splinter's like,
nope.
Kind of like, I agree. That's a bad idea, guys. I don't want to make Donnie feel bad because I'm like everybody's proud papa kind of thing. So I'm not going to take a side, but like, I'm also not going to speak up with like, what happens when the shellfish becomes also on the land. Like, I'm not going to say some random, like, dumb thing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to like drop a cryptic one on y'all.
This is,
you know what I'm saying? Because I can't interfere even that much.
Like, right. This is one where Splinter is gonna let the cards fall as they may, but if it goes in the favor, I could see Splinter walking over and unplugging or tripping over a cable to get it done. But I don't know. He kind of just wants to see. Yeah, he just wants. Yeah, but who knows? But he's definitely not coming out like against his son.
No,
which
like,
I respect.
No, he's not. He's not. But Splinter also ain't supporting nobody.
No,
Splinter's like, yeah, I'm Switzerland in this thing. Like, he's like, you know, yeah, I'm the show me state over here. Like, you just show me that thing works because I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So they're doing that. Well, it turns out that the portable portal generator sure does suck.
Got him.
Up turtles when the black hole turns on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes, you know what I'm saying? So that's literally what goes down, dude.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Donnie's like, what's that through? There's some wind. What's that through the hole? Holy shit, that's a black hole.
Yep.
And it starts doing the thing where it's sucking everything in.
Yeah.
So everyone starts like simultaneously shouting, turn it off. Just turn it off. Like, this thing sucks. I hate it. Turn it off.
Right.
And Donnie's like, it's not responding. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, and Donnie's like probably has like the worst luck. He's probably like,
absolutely.
I literally use this thing like once a week to like go get groceries.
Yeah.
And, like, now it doesn't respond.
Right.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, now, you know?
Yeah.
But the turtles seriously don't want to go into it now.
No, not
because not only is it a black hole sucking them into somewhere where they don't even know where they're going to go. Also, it's just not responding to commands now.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Well, it turns out that Donnie gets sucked through his own portal, followed by Leo and Splinter. April calls in the middle of all this and asks if the turtles know anything about the vortex in the sky. And Raph's like, yeah, we're a little busy right now,
Mhm.
like because the black wholeness is happening.
Right.
And the actual, even like the little monitor that April's on breaks off and gets
Yeah.
sucked into the black hole as well. So like I just love it. She's like, guys, have you seen what's happening in the sky? They're like, it's happening here.
Yeah,
Get
right.
off the
Like in our
phone.
house.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Oh yeah. So yes. So back on the Dreadnought, you know what I'm saying? Mung informs Dregg that two turtles and Splinter have made it through the portal.
Right.
And Dregg is quite pleased, despite Mung reminding him that two turtles does not a complete set of turtles make. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
And Dregg's answer is like right there on the screen. His answer is, he goes, well, that's two less to deal with.
Mhm.
Like you can tell that he got like so ahead of himself. I actually really
Oh,
like
yeah.
that line and that performance, because he's kind of like, one, I knew that would happen.
Mhm.
And two turtles is better than four turtles. And he's like,
Right.
okay, sure, boss. So doubling down, Dregg then orders Mung to move the black hole even closer to the vortex, basically obviously wanting to suck up the other two turtles. Like
Right.
he understands that he got two and the Splinter bonus.
Right. Now he wants the set.
other two turtles.
Yeah.
Even though he acted just a second ago like that was my plan. That's
Mhm.
it.
Oh yeah.
I'm cutting them in half. I'm
Keeping
Dregg.
it cool.
He's
Yeah.
like, but unrelated. Could you move the black hole even more dangerously close to the vortex to suck up the other two turtles? Could you do that? Because that's also in the plan. I just
Right.
don't want to do that all at once.
And
I want to do it two at a time.
yeah. I just wanted to bring up one factor here in case we haven't mentioned or hit it as hard as we probably should. We have supervillains that can move a black hole. Am I misunderstanding this at all?
Nope.
Okay.
They put the black hole sauce into the vortex and makes black hole.
Okay. So they not only can they create one, they can move it
Correct.
and aim
Absolutely.
it. Okay. These are our villains that our Ninja Turtles are going to fight. I just wanted to make sure that people knew the kind of power that these villains had at their disposal. And
Yes, these
just foundation.
These are Dregg and Mung and anyone that possesses their level of technological advancement are effectively gods, given the
Right.
fact that they literally manipulate matter to their will.
Yes.
They can harness all energy created by a star or any system.
Mhm.
They are technically class 3 civilization
Yeah.
peoples. And the turtles are going to cut no
Rope-a-dope 'em.
slack on that,
Yep.
and they're going to rope-a-dope them. That's how you get around them.
That's how you
Although, honestly, man, I mean,
how you get
like,
around
it's
them.
pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah, like Dregg's like, well, before this, I built a Dyson sphere
right.
around a sun. Class 3. Hi.
Yeah.
Dregg. But I am having the hardest time with these amphibians
Yeah.
with these metal weapons
Right.
and a wood weapon. I'm sorry,
And what? And
And-
some rope.
and some rope-a-dope and a kid who doesn't want to be here. A kid that wants to go back to college that turns into I'm not shitting you. He turns into Savage Dragon Big Bird and can't control it or himself.
Yeah.
And I gotta say that I thought the Dyson sphere was the hardest thing to build, but,
Right, but-
actually these guys.
Mhm.
But then again, bro, I mean, look, like I'm reminded of a story from my boy Eric. You know what I'm saying? That reminds me of a bit of an analogy about how we can
That's
kind
me.
of wrap our heads around this.
Okay.
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 So Eric, you know what I'm saying, who at the time was a man who owned the latest video game technology. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? A man who had an iPhone in his own pocket. You know,
Yep.
a man with a tablet. A man with a better iPad than myself. You know what I'm saying? You could say he was technologically advanced.
It's true.
Well, Eric was undone by one wasp that just crawled on his foot, laziest wasp ever.
That's true.
He was on his, phone that has 500 times the processing power of the computer that took Apollo to the moon.
Mm.
But one wasp had him on anaphylaxis watch. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
It's true.
Or
You
that
got me.
time that y'all saw a mouse and you and Preston had to jump on chairs
Oh yeah.
and then walk across the room on chairs.
Yeah.
So-
Each standing on a chair and then moving the third chair in front and then
Yes,
making our way
basically
to
like
shut the door. Yeah.
Yes, hard mode floor is lava
Yeah.
chairs. And you possessed technology in excess of 1 million times what that mouse or wasp would ever be able to even comprehend.
That is
So
a
I
fair
think maybe
point.
that's what Dregg's dealing with.
Okay.
Like the turtles are the laziest wasp ever that crawled on his foot and actually just stung him like that.
Right.
That's
Right.
basically what they are.
Okay.
And then Dregg's best friend has to say, "Call your mom and get some Benadryl."
Right.
You know
Now,
what I mean? And watch your baby head. So.
exactly. That's what my mom says. So, but yeah, no, you make some great points. So I'm back on Hushmouth. So let's keep going.
So, yeah. Okay. So yeah, Dregg orders Mung bring the black hole in closer. And Mung objects, telling him reasonably, like, look, moving the black hole any closer would be too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But he says it in this, like, kind of sultry, flirty voice. I don't know if this is just me.
It's not.
But that voice kind of made me low-key either think that Mung's getting off on this, or, like they role-play this. Like, this is, like,
Right.
something that they normally do, and he's slipping back into it.
Yeah.
Or he's kind of like secretly really enjoying like Dregg like make a ton of irresponsible decisions based on like vengeance and anger, like all in a row.
Right.
Like, either he's like, yeah, you think I'm your do boy and you think I'm your second in command, but actually I'm watching you literally turn into a moron. Like, I'm the guy that has the microbots, the nanobots that can build anything out of anything.
Yeah.
And I thought you were like high. I thought you were up above me, which is why I pledged myself to your service. But
Right.
actually, you're doing dumb things like, well, I meant to get 2 turtles, but move it in closer. Give me 2 more turtles. Like, you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So either that or he's kind of into it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
did
absolutely.
you feel that way when he goes? Because he goes, Dregg, that would be much too dangerous.
Right.
And I'm like,
yes, 100%.
Mung?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Whenever I get to my part, there's something that happens that I wanted to bring up too.
Yes.
That's tangential to that.
I think I know what you're going to talk about, and it does buttress this point.
Okay,
You know
good.
What I'm saying?
Good.
So
Good.
stay tuned. But anyway, that was weird. But then
Yeah.
Mung goes ahead and does it. So like,
Mhm.
Mung's like, okay, move that black hole in closer. So April hops in the car in them streets, and she's on the way to the lair,
Mhm.
which is not the place you want to go.
No,
but
you
April
don't wanna
doesn't
go
know
there.
that. So on some planet in Dimension X somewhere, Leo and Donnie land on a planet that thankfully has what appears to be a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere,
Mhm.
and speculate on where Splinter could be. With Donnie kind of saying like, I mean, he could literally be anywhere in time or space
Right.
because black hole.
Exactly.
Okay. But then Donnie's like, well, let me pull my little scanner out. Well, the scanner signals trash here. Let's move up to that hill. So they basically like walk like a ways away.
Right.
I think that's all for my part of the review. All I did want to say, and I don't think I mentioned it here, but part of the concern that Mung has about the moving the black hole too close actually is pretty smart, because he's like, look, this black hole like has like it's going to pull like that planet toward it at a certain rate, because it's as powerful as a black hole can be. But if the vortex is not dilated enough to take the Earth in, then we won't be successful. That's why triggering the black hole early is like a problem.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because the Earth's going to start moving closer and closer to the vortex.
Mm-hmm.
But the vortex needs like 2 hours to grow out to the size to like take the Earth through to Dimension X.
Right.
But you're going to pull it, and it's going to be like, like banging against this hole it can't go in. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Mung's really upset.
That makes a lot more sense the way you
I put that in my notes, but I can't remember. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So that's kind of what you see. You know what I mean?
Because there's a lot of like words that get thrown around, like black hole, warp, vortex, all this stuff gets thrown around. So it gets very confusing very quickly. But
oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing my notes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We had a weird thing where you came in the notes and said you took over at a certain time, but you took over actually like way later than that.
Oh, okay.
So I had to do like another like page or two.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, I apologize. It just said the easy takes over thing, but then I realized there's more notes there. So I'm gonna break through this. Here we go.
Okay,
right?
go for it.
So back on the Dreadnought, you know what I'm saying? We're back. Apparently the warp store, and this is I wanted to say this, but it was later. That's why I had a memory of it, but I didn't say it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
So back on the Dreadnought, apparently the warp isn't open wide enough.
Right.
Because that's what happened. Because that's what happened when Dregg activated it too early. So thus the gravitational interference is creating a warp storm, which is another thing you don't want.
Yeah, no.
You want a warp storm. You don't want that. That's
You
how
do
that's
not.
Event Horizon. That's how you get like demon ships. That's what happens.
Exactly.
So Mung freaks out and starts typing away because he's just like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" Wait a minute, are these your notes?
They are my notes. I was waiting for you to recognize that.
Hold on a minute.
So I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we're in line with
I'm
what.
really sorry.
I don't know where you jumped ahead. This might be where you thought.
It was just like my formatting.
This.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's funny because
sorry.
like on my end, it looks just exactly like how it's supposed to. So that's interesting. But this could be where you might have thought our discrepancy earlier might have been come from, where you thought there was way more, and although everything we've talked about so far was a lot more than I would have put into than I thought was like in my recollection of what was there. Like there was a lot more ground there, but
yeah.
I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Okay, yeah, no, that is so weird. That is so weird. Okay, yeah. So you guys see behind the curtain right now. You know what I'm saying about
it's a live show.
Notes.
That's how we do it.
God, that is really bizarre. So you definitely did take over a little later on this one than the time you wrote in the notes. We'll get into this later after we're done when we have our post-production meeting. But like, it happened that way, and that got me actually crossed up. Then I started reading your notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then we did.
Reading them. All right, so then Mung
so keep going. I'm good. I'm enjoying this. I just sit back.
Stop! Those are my notes. Those are my notes.
All right. So as Ryan said, Mung's upset. There's a warp storm. Freaking out. Typing away. Doing all this stuff. Let's see. I got a shot of him typing. Look at that go. Look at him go. Because there's a lot. I mentioned this because there's a lot of typing this episode. Like people are just typing left and right.
Type a ton. They do.
So which we mentioned this, but like we bring it up, but again, Ryan, think about it. Like this is when the internet's a thing, so people are typing a hell of a lot more than they ever did. Like they might have used typewriters before, but like nowhere near to the level that the internet brought people into. QWERTY keyboards and all that stuff. So, so that's interesting thing to note. So, they end up. Like eventually Dregg puts both of his hands. This is what I was talking about earlier. He puts both of his hands on Mung's shoulders and tells him to hurry. And he says it in a very strange tone, much in the way that you were mentioning earlier. Is this what you were?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not alone in this.
This is what I thought you were going to allude to. Like the first one was like the kind of like the weird role play tone that Mung had,
right?
And then there was this part where he's like, you just put your hands on his shoulders, like this is like some ghost shit, like
that's what it seemed like.
Cue the Everly Brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like run that song, let's get that going. You know what I mean? Like it's very odd, and then it got me thinking that like, why does everyone want to put their hands on Mung? Like when we go back to in the trilogy, he's probably one of the grossest. Yeah,
when Shredder and Krang and them were coming in, like Shredder grabs Mung, the turtles grab him and hug him. Now I liked your point about like I think you made the point about like not wanting to hit him for some reason, like not want to physically attack him. There was a reason that you had brought up that I think had something to do with like his looks or maybe his like skin was weird.
Oh,
but like
no, it'd be gross. It'd be gross to do it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Gross to hit him or
what did you say?
Him,
really, it was something to punch, like not something to punch. I wrote it down. No fun to punch. That's what you called it, and I thought that was the funniest thing.
Yeah, because he would.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I remember. He'd be no fun to punch.
Right, no fun to punch. But
you deck him and he'd be like, and he'd be like, that sucks. Like,
right.
Like fight me, you coward. Like
exactly. And but no, people just like they wanted to get close to him for some reason, which I think is pretty neat. And I would have loved to have seen them like explain that. And maybe it's a pheromone thing, but we talked about that on previous episodes. But nevertheless, we now see that Dregg has succumbed to Mung's wilds, if you will, or whatever. But
he has.
So he's trying to assure Mung that he's got it, and he's doing the whole rubbing his shoulders thing. So that's weird and awkward, and I think we've seen enough of it. So they fire something into the storm that causes Splinter to be transported to the Dreadnought, and he immediately runs for cover, which I love that it's like, oh, I've just been sucked into this thing. I've been floating out into the ether. And now I'm like on this ship, I'm just going to immediately take off and start running. Now, I said all that, but I also forget that this is someone who spends the majority of their time on the astral plane,
True.
just constantly.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing out there.
He does.
He knows what it is.
He has rat, like DNA abilities, whatever you want to call it, like instincts. So
yeah,
I imagine those kick in, and then when I figured that part out, or like rationalize that, it makes a rationalize that. There you go. That's one to grow on.
You know what?
That's whenever I started to appreciate it a little bit more. Anyway, whatever they did, this is causing the warp storm to subside. And we get a bunch of shots of Splinter just like running around like inside the Dreadnought, and I am 100% here for this. Like Mission Impossible Splinter is probably one of my favorite Splinters. And
I mean, it's kind of cool knowing ahead of time that this is kind of Splinter's last like time on a mission in the series. Like he actually does a really great job.
Right, he does. And so he eventually he runs he sees Batman doing some stuff, and here we see the Batman as we are used to seeing them with their wings and everything, doing some manual labor or something. And he eventually gets to a door and he opens it up to find, and this is a very strange sequence. It is. Opens it up to find a bunch of Batmen in the suits we saw earlier at the beginning of the episode.
Like the power armor suits, yeah.
He says an invasion force. And then he shuts the door. Now, we've heard the term invasion force from the trilogy, where that's where Dregg was talking about like he was gonna build an invasion force, and then we saw the robot chicken machines that he built that the turtles inevitably sent to die in space. But this is more like an invasion force, what I was imagining. Like a ton of these beings, and that you could do something with them, that they're foreboding, or just in their sheer amount. But I'm surprised that they're showing it here, and that it's weird because they're revealing it to us now as if it has never happened before, although we were told earlier that it has happened. So a little inconsistent, but I still thought it was neat that Splinter saw that. So anyway, I think
it's weird that they're all weird that they're all standing in formation.
Like they're sleeping or something?
Opens the door. Yeah, he opens the door like clearly in front of them, and then none of them react, and then they're all just there. It's kind of weird to have them. They must be in some kind of like hibernation, just like standing there like ready to go.
Yeah, and the animation's really weird because like this perspective would be that if he opens the door, he's not looking, theoretically, he's probably not looking down. He's looking directly at them, but they're not standing on a tiered thing. They're just, it's very odd. But
it's weird.
There are a lot of them, and so that's up there. We'll put that in the old hat and just wait for that. We get that rat ass running, and just great Splinter. Just love seeing him move. And anyway, he makes his way downtown, and we get back to we go back to Earth, Ryan. And we're seeing this now. This thing that we're seeing, this is these like streaks in the sky. This is the black hole or the vortex, or
that's the vortex.
That's the vortex. Okay. So, which makes me feel a little bit better about like the forgive me, but the gravity of all this. That like, so right here we start off pretty big. We see that the effects of the vortex is wrecking a dam, and so that's pretty powerful, right? We then see it wrecking the side of a mountain, which that's maybe a little less because that foundation could have been shaky. Who knows? Then it just diminishing returns. Ryan, we get some trees being swayed, a power line being broken, and then we get into the city, and we just see a street light fall over, and it doesn't break. It just kind of falls over. Just falls over. And thankfully narrowly missing April O'Neil in her hot red sports car. And so thus she is able to make her way back to the turtles' lair, where the portal is still open, and our friends Mike and Raph, they are still hanging by the grappling hook. And I just love this. This is just It's so weird that they're just like, yep, we're just hanging here. Like it's been a couple
been
minutes.
forever. It's been forever
Yeah.
in animated series time, and they're just still hanging tight.
Yeah.
Like, just chilling.
Exactly. So April comes in and like, so she gets down in the sewers. She comes into their lair, and it's like you would think that she would like, I don't know, like the force would be, because the thing that's pulling them is the black hole, correct? Yeah, that not the vortex, but the black hole. So that would be a little bit more powerful in my opinion. But
I'd say
she gets in the lair and she has to like hang onto the side. And I don't know what she's thinking here, trying to tell the turtles to grab her hand because one, they weigh way more than her, even though they are theoretically shorter than her.
Yeah,
but
they got more mass though.
They do. And so nevertheless, she's asking, and it might be instinct where she's just like, hey, give me your hand. And the turtles are like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. No, we're going to go back. Now that you're here to handle this, we're going to go look for our friends and brothers and wherever the hell this thing leads to.
We're going to pop through.
Yeah, so we're going to let go. So thanks for the hand, but we'll see you in about an hour. And if we're not, cancel our cable TV. So so now Mike and Raph, they let go and they fly into the vortex. Well, the portable portal, Donnie's portable portal that is taking them where Leo, Don and Splinter went. And April is left to deal with this in the lair, and they're all gone. So yeah, she is kind of just like having, I would imagine, a panic attack, trying to figure out how do I get myself out of this? She doesn't have the internet. She can't get to the internet right now, so she can't figure it out. So she might have to resort back to her old April ways. So pre Red Skies. Anyway, so then we see that Mike and Raph, they end up on this planet that also has it's inhabitable apparently. Like they can breathe there. The atmosphere is, and so they're just like, all right, well, like we didn't end up in some monster's body, so that's one thing to be thankful for, that they're able to, because that's the thing. Like when you're messing with this kind of science, like anything could happen, and so they end up they end up coming across or afoul of this demon dino fire breathing monster thing, which is just very oddly colored and looking.
Yeah, we enter the Dimension X planet, has a bunch of monstrous creatures on it, a portion of the program. Right.
So so Raphael's talking about how he can't even these are like toothpicks. His psi are like toothpicks to this thing. Which makes no sense because they fought much bigger, and so that's just weird. But anyway.
Absolutely.
Anyway, they so Raph ends up breaking off a piece of let's see. Oh, did I jump ahead? No, that's Raph. Yeah, because the animation's a little weird. Yeah, no, Raph breaks off a piece of this this tree and then just starts going at the monster to his face with this thing like a toothpick, which toothpicks are made from trees, if you didn't know. Very tiny trees, but that's what they're made from, and they're 4 teeth, and that's what Raphael's doing here. Very odd. Yes. So they this doesn't work. So they take off running, and I love this because the monster ends up grabbing Raphael by the shell with his mouth, that's me doing. That's me being a dinosaur. Okay. So he gets Raphael by the shell, and which is interesting because it seems like either he's playing with his food or like he might be one of those things that it looks terrifying but is actually friendly. We don't know. But the turtles chose violence before communication, and that's not the way to go.
Always assume hostility. That's what the turtles are going with right
That's the turtles' MO right there. So Raphael says, dude, forget about me. So first of all, let's say Michelangelo does this and he gets back to the lair and he's got this 3 brothers. Guess what? They all look like Raphael. So how is he ever gonna forget about Raphael? Take apart
Good.
the
Good
friends
point.
and the brothers.
Good point.
Like,
Good point. Good point.
how do you every time you look in the mirror, and his Raphael's color is the closest to Michelangelo's.
Very true. It's like the other warm color. So yeah,
Exactly.
like you're probably gonna remember him all the time.
Yeah, so this is Raphael doesn't know what he's saying at this point. I think he must have hit his head on the way in because he's just making bad choices. Well, Michelangelo, he starts to run, but he's like, no, you know what? Oh no, he continued running because that's where they were running. So he turns around, he stops, and he goes, hey, black hole breath. How about a double turtle whopper with secret sauce?
More secret sauce, black hole sauce, green goose sauce, lime green
Sauce,
all kinds
of sauce,
secret sauce sprinkled over everything.
Yeah, so Michelangelo then goes back and he gets a stick from the same tree that Raphael broke off, and attempts the same thing, except Raphael goes for the Tanya Harding, going for the legs, and yeah. Well, when this doesn't work,
That's what he said.
is exactly what he said. But when that ended up, that's all it resulted from that attack. So, but Michelangelo's like, oh, I need to get him to let Raphael go. So he resorts to insults. And this happens to work. He says, your mother wears gravity boots. Yeah. And that apparently upsets the monster so much so that he lets Raphael go and he falls right on his face, which was fantastic. And at this point, the vortex has opened up again, I guess, to the point where they can just hop in. So they pick Raphael. Mikey picks him up and jumps in, and the dinosaur follows them, or the monster, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So back with Leo and Don, they're still searching for Splinter somewhere else. We're not sure if this is the same place that Mike and Raph are at. I don't think it is, or at the very least, it's not on the same area. So Donnie says he's getting a life reading somewhere up ahead, and there's nothing there when they get there, but until there's something there. Like, they're just like, what, huh, what? There's something here, but there's nothing here. Oh, it's the ground. The ground's moving. The ground's shaking. Something's happening. Turns out it's a Rocky Worm type thing. Now, this has happened to all of us.
Yes.
Every once in a while you're out and you got this feeling and something just happens, and then you're like, there's something here, but I can't see it. And then every once in a while, the Rocky Worm thing will come out and it'll get you. And it gets our boys Donatello. Go ahead.
The only thing worse than that is, like, if you were to be wearing a shirt with your name printed on it at the same time. So then the Rocky thing the little Rocky snake comes out and goes like, hey, Eric. And you're like, God damn, he knows my name.
Right. And then he tells you that I'm a friend of your mom's. And I'm like,
I'm a friend of your mom's. Your mom's been in an accident. You're like, okay, just grab me and pull me underground, bro.
And then he doesn't. And then
he knew my name.
And then we're like so accustomed to this. But like, see, with the advance of technology, Rocky Worm things are like really good at Photoshop, if you didn't know. And he shows you some. He's like, look, here's a picture. Here's my Facebook with me and your mom. Like, look, and he photoshopped himself like over your dad, and it's a thing, and it's kind of weird.
They didn't know about that. They didn't know about that then.
They didn't.
They didn't know about that in 1996. You know what I mean? Like,
they did not. But
I don't know.
But nevertheless, the turtles get away from the Rocky Worm. But then the Rocky Hand comes out, and a bunch of those hands come out, and they get our boys Donnie and Leo, and in a bad way. And that's rough, because how you gonna fight a hand from the ground? You know what I'm saying? So,
no idea. Back
on the Dreadnought, the warp is now fully open, according to Mung telling Dregg, informing him of this. And Dregg instructs Mung to move the black hole into position. And we now see more buildings get wrecked by this pull. And
finally.
Right, exactly. And mass hysteria, at least in the way of 5 people that we saw being like really scared of this, which leads me to believe again that we're living in the red skies are in a post-apocalyptic scenario where
they've had a population drop for sure.
If it's
like,
not
an event that like decimated the population of the Earth or something.
If not that, or also that something happened that decimated all these people, but also was enough to make them not concerned about a lot of things, like be very apathetic about like catastrophic events.
You're right.
And one of the two
still
are
a
both.
Government and stuff. Like, things are cool.
So
People
something
just,
happened.
there's not many people, and they're still real mad about things.
They are still real mad about it. And someone who's still kind of real mad about things is April O'Neil. She's still hanging on.
Oh,
and the portal is closing, apparently. So she decides to let go and get closer, which is kind of neat and risky, but she's able to do it. And she, after about like 10 minutes of her like, letting go, grabbing on, letting go, grabbing on, she eventually makes her way to a computer, which is now her like kind of thing. Like she's like effectively like the oracle of this series now.
Yes.
And she starts typing away, just typing. And so that she's trying to figure out how to shut it off, but that's what she's doing. So anyway, back on the Dreadnought. Let's get there. There we go. We get this interesting shot where it's like panning like underneath it. It's very, there's a couple of different camera angles and moves that they've been doing this season, which are kind of interesting. And this was one of those. Mung informs Dregg that they are 30 minutes away from mission accomplished. Then we end up seeing Splinter making his way around the Dreadnought, dealing with Batman as he goes, just like taking him out, rope-a-doping him, and using the ancient Foot Clan art of making the other one shoot the other one kind of thing, like doing all that.
Yes.
So
that's in the playbook.
And then probably let's see, hold on, I got to make sure, because like I don't want to jump ahead. I think that okay, so this I'm about to show you, Ryan. This is probably one of my favorite screen caps I've ever got, because I wanted to make sure I caught Splinter at his finest moments, and this is one of them. Just him about to jump, and so it says, the captions say yelling in Japanese, and I have a theory that yelling in Japanese instantly buffs whatever action you are about to do. It
Absolutely.
It just makes anything that you're about to do following the yelling in Japanese instantly better or amplified.
It's basically an auto pass.
Absolutely.
Auto pass.
And so Splinter just does this jump, and it's hilarious. Like he just does
like this is like a kind of a cousin to the 90-degree jump move.
I forgot about that.
He does a 45-degree jump move.
Right, exactly. Yes. And so he ends up doing this thing. He trips the Batman and gets them all rope-a-doped and makes his way up to a ventilation shaft. And he goes around and he finds
This is my favorite.
Favorite. So he ends up finding the ship's computer relays, and he opens it up, Ryan, and he starts hitting buttons as if he does machines. Now, I could understand a little bit if the turtles were his biological children, and that maybe some of those that does machines was passed down to Donnie, and you could draw the lineage to it. Now, granted, I don't know. After I've said it, I mean, there's room to say that like Splinter might have studied mechanics and engineering and all this stuff. But
I mean, technically, if you go to animated series Origin, I mean, they do share his genetics, because his human genetics is what made them anthropomorphic.
Okay, you have a very valid point. That is true.
Their genes did meld, so they are his bio kids, at least 50% bio kids.
And but backtracking a little bit, because I feel like that might be a little bit weird. That think about it this way. So when they're kids and he's trying to read to them and teach them how to read and stuff like that, Donatello is probably getting really bored with some of the other stuff that Michelangelo's into, or Raphael.
Oh, absolutely.
So Splinter has to find like Popular Mechanics or some other like science magazine. And so he might have learned some stuff in doing that.
Well,
that could have been a thing.
Well, I don't even know why we're trying to explain it, because Splinter explains it in the scene.
Does he?
He's like, yeah, he says something like, if my senses are correct, this is the control for the whatever. He literally is using, this is why it's my favorite. He openly basically says he's using like his like ninja like sixth sense to know what is what in that thing.
Okay.
So it's not even like he knew it. He's somehow divining it from the energy, like,
right.
Like, it's pretty crazy.
If this was anybody else, I would have called BS on it.
Sure.
But because it's Splinter, I can definitely see that. Like, I'm okay with that. Like that makes sense to me.
I'll be
Like,
honest. Splinter has not gotten his fair share of power creep. You know,
no.
it's been 10 seasons. And Splinter, you know, he gets some. You know, he gets the 90-degree jump. He gets the magic mothballs. You're like, what? Those are mothballs? Like, he gets some stuff like that.
Right.
But he doesn't get as much power creep as the turtles do.
No.
So he's like, I'm going to get it all in my last big appearance. So I'm going to go ahead and manifest the ability to sense from the ether what parts do in a highly advanced spaceship.
Right.
He's like, I'm just taking it. I'm taking it at the end here, guys. Like, you didn't give me the power creep, so I'm gonna. My abilities are different now. I'm
right,
different.
And it
That's
could be it could be something also along the. If you spend enough time on the astral plane, it could be a thing like the Avatar.
They may have picked it all up.
Or it could be something like with Black Panther, like where he's got the when you go to he goes to the other realm and he talks to the previous Black Panthers. There's a history of all that stuff, but like that could be something too that
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Golly, I love that. I know. I love it though. So, but yeah, it could be a myriad of things, but nevertheless, Splinter does it, and I think Donnie would be proud. So, back with let's see, Mike and Raph, they end up on some other planet that's a little greener than the place where they were before, and but it's also colder. So like they fall down. And they're like, all right, what's going on? Well, before they can get their bearings, the dinosaur, the monster that was following them, his head comes through, and he starts breathing fire. If I didn't say that before, he's a fire breather, or it's a fire breather.
Right. Dragon Man. Yeah, there you
that
go.
works. Yeah. So they end up throwing a snowball in its mouth, and it quells the flames, and it causes it to like go back to wherever it was at. And so that I thought that was pretty neat. I mean, it's pretty like, you know, cartoon. It's pretty cartoon 101, but like, I don't know. I liked it. So anyway, they hear giant footsteps, and turns out that it's this huge demonic Arctic ape-like creature. And this thing is massive. And they decide to just run for it because like they turn around and they run from it, and they're like, you know what? No, let's go do this. So they come back, and they just like rip hair out of its legs, and then they get upset because that was the plan and it didn't work.
That was disturbing. It didn't make a lot of sense to me.
So then they just like turn around and keep running again. Didn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't
know
what that was.
Back with Leo and Don very quickly. It's supposed to be Leo, but it's obviously evidenced here that it is Raphael with a ninjato fully. Oh, okay, that's right. Because when Dregg broke them, that was the footage from a previous fight. So he has since got them fixed.
Of course.
But yeah, they're still dealing with the Rocky Worm beings wherever they're at.
Of course.
So back with April in the lair. She thinks that she's just about got it. And that's all we see of her for a few minutes. We go back to the Dreadnought. And Mung informs Dregg that Earth will be in contact with Dimension X space in 60 seconds, Ryan. That's 1 minute for those who are counting. Dregg wants the black hole to be teleported away once it's done its job, essentially. And he's like, all right, do that. So
he's going to. I love Dregg here because you see the effects it's having on the Earth. Like, it's having really bad effects on the Earth.
Right.
I love that, like, from what you're kind of gathering from what you're seeing, and the fact that Dregg is now starting to get worried about, like, back the black hole off a little bit. It feels like that all he's gonna get in Dimension X if his plans work is like basically like a Tootsie Roll planet.
Right.
It's just been sucked like flat, and it's like it's just like a cylinder of like molten rock just like floating in it. And he's like,
right.
Ooh, I may have overdone it. I may have overdone it and made it a cylinder of molten rock. Like, because that's what it feels like. It's gonna happen.
That is what it feels like. Then we see Splinter being laser blasted by the Batman. This apparently the lasers have been like upped in their like force, like or like how powerful they are, because they're able to blast a hole in the ground that causes Splinter to fall through. And so he's just hanging out.
I love that. That's like him, that's like the equivalent of him like falling out of an air vent. Like
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to be sneaky and falling out of an air vent in front of everybody. That's basically what happened here. He's like, I love how his like ass is like to them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like it's so like unglamorous. He's like,
It is.
oh god, like falling down there. It's pretty great.
It's great. So he jumps down and Batman are just blasting at him, just trying to get him. And he ends up running into a room that we find out is the airlock. And one thing on a spaceship you never want to go into is the airlock. No, you don't want to do that.
I would not spend any time there.
No, never. I would not even like go near it. I would stay completely away from it. But Splinter runs into it. And for those who don't know, the airlock is essentially where they put trash or something. Like it could be like a spaceport where like a ship can come in and dock, and then like they can like compress the air or whatever they do to get it normalized to where they can come out, stuff like that. And they also put trash in there and let it go. That's kind of the vibe of it. And so Splinter's in there. Mung hits the button to cause it to open up, and he says that Splinter is now space debris. So, okay, well, we think that that's it and that Splinter is done. But we see this, Ryan. Again, another instance of people touching Mung. Splinter's hand
touching Mung.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Like Splinter goes to touch Mung's hand and says no. It's almost as if he's touching his lips and saying shh. But because what we didn't see,
don't you dare close your eyes.
Don't you dare close your eyes. That's what he
looks
said.
like to me.
Oh, absolutely. What we didn't see here in this episode as we're reviewing it was because I didn't get the screenshot of it. I don't think was that Splinter had avoided being sucked out into the depths of space by holding on to a pipe. And yeah, now I would call BS on that too, but everyone in this episode has had multitude of experience holding on to things while they're being sucked somewhere.
Yes.
And so so this checks. So anyway, Splinter's like, I'm afraid I cannot wait for your master's commands, because he was like, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And Splinter's like, I'm afraid
I can't let that. I can't wait.
Yeah. So, anyway, so he, Splinter says that, and Mung just walks away. He goes, okay, and just shrugs and just walks off. And, Splinter then apparently transports the black hole into the dreadnought. Then Splinter transports Leonardo and Donatello into the dreadnought, and then fighting happens. Just like all this fighting, and like a blaster gets like knocked out of someone's hands, and all this stuff, and then Leo goes to destroy the transporter yet again, which, this is just a daily occurrence now for Dregg and Mung.
Oh yeah.
But then what happens is that Leo does it. Leo wrecks the transporter, but they inform him that all you've done is prevent us from withdrawing the black hole. So now we're kind of stuck in this thing. So good job. And then they're like, thanks for doing that. And the Turtles' response, Ryan, is, in that case, we'll just have to destroy all of your computers. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Just, yeah. And so then they just start blasting, and they just start destroying everything. But, so they wreck, they end up, okay, I lost my train of thought. So they end up like talking about how they have a worse problem now, because like, now everything's wrecked. Yeah. We can't do anything about the black hole and all this other stuff, and it's all because of you reptiles. Like, this is like
everyone dies now.
Yeah, we're gonna all be sucked into this black hole. Like, we can't do anything. So Donatello says this tin can's going to explode like a supernova, because as soon as it gets into the black hole, the what is it called? The nuclear reactor that it has to propel it and to give it space travel is going to explode. And it's interesting that this is a problem now, but it was not a problem when they transported the sun into it.
Correct. And also, that's the thing about black hole is it takes that too. Like it's actually,
okay. So
you're gonna implode, and then whatever nuclear explosion happens is also crushed and pulled into the black hole. So there would be no explosion. You're dead anyway, though.
Right.
Like, you're dead. Like you're dead for sure. But that's because your body melds with the metal, and then you get sucked in the black hole. That's how tight things get. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about here.
So,
that's what it is.
So as a result of the turtles wrecking all the computers, they are this actually ends up sending the Earth back to its original place, like slowly. It just kind of like makes its way back. And it leaves the Dreadnought adrift in space, headed toward the black hole, like we mentioned, and it's being torn apart. But they, and then that's when they talk about the supernova and all that, and we see the Dreadnought just like getting wrecked. And like all of a sudden, Mike and Raph get transported into the Dreadnought just in time.
Yeah.
And then Leo and Don and Splinter just rush them, and they all jump into the portal, which we see takes them back to the lair. And then it all makes sense because April informs us that she's kept the portal open for an hour as the turtles finally make it back home. And they're able to close the portal. Now, essentially what had happened is that April was able to get the thing fixed. She was able to get Mike and Raph back, and then I think she sent them back to the Dreadnought.
Yes, they're not 100 on explaining that.
No,
but she's been holding it, I guess, open with her like tech, like with like her like the hacking or the like using the computer to hold it open. Or
her typing.
It's kind of weird.
She used her typing powers to keep it open. And so, they end up closing it. And right before Dregg and Mung can actually jump in and get out of there because their impending doom is here at the black hole. And so, like I said, we see Dregg lunge toward the open portal, but it closes on him. Then we see the Dreadnought get sucked into the black hole and then an explosion.
They just leave them to die out there.
The turtles just left them to die. Not only Dregg and Mung, but all the Batmen. Yeah. Yep. All of them.
The invasion force.
All the invasion force. That's right. Yeah. So tons of lives just gone, just dead. Back in the lair, the turtles are watching a news report on the incident that is not April O'Neil, surprisingly, and they complain about how they never get the credit that they deserve. And then Donnie comes in and says he's fixed the portal, and he turns it on, and a monstrous hand comes out of it, and so the other turtles just throw all their weapons at it to wreck the machine and close the portal, and that's it. That is
like, LOL. Yeah. Whenever the portable portal generator gets involved, you go right back to like season 4, where you see like an awful thing happen where you're like, oh, so we didn't solve it at all. Actually, like this thing's gonna now we just have an open portal,
right?
And it won't close, and that thing's gonna come to Earth, and and they're like, ha ha ha, da na 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 na. You know, like you get that out of it immediately.
Oh yeah. So that was episode 7 of season 10, and the penultimate episode.
It was indeed.
And
the penultimate.
Yeah. How did you feel about the ending of this episode?
There's things I liked about it. Obviously, like the Splinter kind of the Splinter ninja sneak around the 007 action. I was a fan of that.
Yeah.
I in general, we went planet to planet, fight the old monsters. You know what I'm saying? That old goodness. But in general, I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, once again, brutal abandoning of Dregg and Mung, just like, because they jumped through that portal
and that's led by
lives, is what they do.
That's led by old dad. Like old dad Splinter
old dad does it. Oh, hands down.
Like, come on, guys, we ain't got time to play nice. Like,
we ain't got time to play with these guys.
Yeah, no,
we're out. They're the bad guys. They should die.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's what he said. That's what he told him.
Overall is pretty good. Overall is pretty good. It's hard. I feel like last episode was a little better. I really liked like the head to head trying to control the internet with their minds and all that stuff, like kind of Dregg on Donnie action from last episode. I kind of liked that as a showdown.
Oh yeah.
Here, it was still good. I don't want to say this episode's bad by any means.
Right.
You got to remember that the worst Red Skies episode kind of outclasses the original kind of the pre-makeover stuff usually in plot and stuff.
Right.
So like typically, right, even like episode I say it's just okay. It's usually like pretty. It's gonna rate in the higher percentile overall for the series. But I thought it was okay. I think the only thing I can kind of like criticize maybe overall is it felt a little bit forgettable.
Okay.
I think if you watch this episode when you get done, I think the only really the stuff you really have on your plate is, that Mung and Dregg could be dead in that explosion. And I guess like the revelation that Dregg watches game film on past failures to the Turtles.
That's true.
And that our count on portal generators, like the vortex portal, is actually way off, because if he's got other encounters that we aren't clued in on, that means they probably destroyed a lot more vortex transporters.
Oh,
which means that Dregg's not just on his 4th, he's on his 9th, 12th,
right?
15th, who knows?
Oh yeah.
I think that the new look of the Batman, the power armored foot soldier Batman, that's kind of a cool revelation too. But I feel like that's kind of what I draw here. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest thing to pull from this is Dregg's rewatching of the stuff that happened.
Yeah,
I hate it that like they're this would have been a great episode to like maybe open season 8 with or season 10 with. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where like you have him do this and you see the invasion force, and then it's like, oh, and then now he doesn't have the dreadnought, but like he's got all this other stuff. Like that would have been kind of neat, possibly.
That would have been pretty cool.
It does feel like an older episode. Like they're resting on this like antiquated kind of trope in a way for the series.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely something that you could just replace Dregg and Mung with Krang and Shredder, and it would have felt like the back in the day. But yeah, I loved Splinter stuff. I think that was probably the highlight of the whole thing. The Turtles interactions were pretty cool. At least Mike and Raph's back and forth were funny and entertaining. I was glad we got to see April do something this episode at the very least. And
I like that.
Yeah, that she didn't need their help necessarily. Like she just went and did something.
She was right on it. She was doing her own thing that episode, kind of helping out in her own way. Which I once again, I guess that's also a good takeaway. I think it was a pretty good episode for April. She never was really the center of attention, right? But she did serve like a support role, like in making sure that the mission got accomplished, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So
definitely. Yeah. But then again, I think that the problem with this series doing contiguous storylines is that they kind of forget that they have a timeline or a time limit that they although narratively speaking they give us time limits all the time. However, within themselves they rush a bunch of stuff, and it kind of things get murky, and
that is part of the undoing. I think that there was in this episode, if let's say I saw this, and it was like, oh, like, back then it was like, David Wise or Scott, Jeffrey Scott, Tony Love, they're like, hey, like, do you have any notes on this episode? I honestly might be like, yeah, I think my only notes would really be like, I think there's too much happening in this episode.
Okay.
Like, if you writer's room it for a second, I think that there's too much going on. Imagine like a movie like episode 1, Star Wars, like The Phantom Menace, right? Part of the reason that like people don't like that movie, part of the reason that people just kind of naturally, they can't even explain to you why they don't like it. They're like, I just don't like it.
Right.
Part of the reason they don't like it actually is it breaks several rules. It jams way, way, way too much into a short time. Right. Even though the movie's pretty long, it's just too much. There's conflicting plot lines that have you feel different ways. Like at the end of the movie, there's like Anakin kind of like LOL, blowing up like the droid ship, which he's like not even, he has no agency.
Right.
Then we have, a battle on the surface where all the Gungans are getting screwed. Then you've got Duel of Fates.
Mm-hmm.
And which is like super intense, right?
Yeah.
So you've got like Duel of Fates, which you're like, I just want some more Duel of Fates, but then we keep cutting back to Anakin and then cutting back to and it's just too much,
Yeah.
right? And like it's just too much. And this episode, I think, suffers from there being too much. There's sucking the planet through the portal. There's this struggle with Dregg and Mung where Dregg is like trying to shortchange the process and it's causing all these problems.
Right.
You got Splinter alone in the Dreadnought trying to like investigate and sabotage. You got two turtles on one planet running from Dragon Man. You've got two other turtles on another planet running from rock snake creature plus the abominable snowman they've ripped hair off of and run away anyway. Then they all get worked to like, well, two of them land there with Splinter, and then they fight some more. Then the other two come, and then the warp storm, and now it's going to all explode. You know what I mean? It's too much. And I think when you get too much, you're left in that same spot. You're left going like, there's too much going on, and so now because my attention is split on too much, I kind of don't care that much about any of these one things.
Absolutely.
Like, do you know what I mean? I think what it does, and I think it's happened to us. When an episode like this is like overwrought, I think what it does to us is, if we see it happen through our reviews, whenever episodes do this, you and I usually pick a thing we like and we just talk about that and we go, yeah, but overall the episode was kind of whatever. Like we really like Splinter, like being aboard the Dreadnought. We love that, right? Him being on the Dreadnought, investigating, Ninja Vanish. He was like kicking some ass, but then like also dropping some of that like, I'm not here to fight, you know. Remember that he's like, I make ripples in the water surface, and then he kicks their ass. He's like, and the ripples hit you. And you're like, damn, Splinter's like dropping like Battle Monk knowledge out here, like dropping like Battle Monk lines out here. He's got verses. Your boy's got verses out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like that'd be my notes on it. I'd be like, back up a little bit, back up. Like, all the turtles should wind up on the same planet. Right, they should all be on the same planet. Then they fight a couple things, and then they get back. Then everyone's reunited. Honestly, like I probably would have written April's whole like I might get sucked in the portal, but I might not. And now I'm on the keyboard. I might have written that out or changed it a little bit. Right. But end of the day, I think it just had too much going on. This happened a lot in a lot of David Wise episodes early in the series. I feel like too. And
well,
it had the same effect on us.
I feel like if you write April's part out, then she's just gone, and then you lose like a very big part of like what she's a huge part. I know you know this.
Okay,
but I think the thing
like, I said write it out. Well, to be out of context, I said write it out and or change it up.
Right.
Like I don't want to remove that. That's
no,
cool.
I understand.
But I would have April instead of being in her apartment, like hanging out. And then having to like, they see the vortex and then she gets in the car and she calls them and then I would have had her in the lair. She's like in the lair for another reason. And the whole portal thing goes off. And I would have had like all of a sudden like two turtles get ripped in, then Splinter. And then April tries to save them real fast. And they're like, actually, April, since you have a good hold on that wall, we're out. And they go too. Boom. You cut, 5 minutes into 1 minute. You know what I mean? That's how you save a little time.
But I think the reason they put her
then
in
she
there,
can stay there and work on the thing.
I think the reason they had her drive there was just so they could show you that it's wrecking the city. But then again, when all they show you is that it's knocking over a lamppost, that happens on like an hourly basis in this city.
So like that just happens. Like
you don't need to.
It falls over because obviously a nuke went off like 10 years ago and they haven't told us
exactly. Or like they're the havoc. They're out there. A myriad of things that the turtles have solved have been out here. But like the one thing that I keep going back to, and this is where as an adult you realize that this show kind of like falls apart unless someone could writer's room Red Skies as being like, oh no, like someone actually figured this out and affected everything else, but nobody else knows about it in New York. Anyway, the thing is that Dregg would be successful as long as he didn't focus all of his attention on New York City. If he focused his attention anywhere else in the world, especially on a different continent,
the turtles don't got the Skrilla to fly to like Paris every week, bro.
Precisely.
So you just go to Paris and set up shop, and then the turtles are like, well, that's all the way out there.
Right, exactly. And they've already been there once, so they don't need to go again.
Yeah, they did that.
Like season 7 or whatever it was.
Take them back.
He won't. Like that's the thing. Splinter's like, we already been there. Now
think money grows on trees out here?
Yeah, exactly. You think money grows on the sewer trees? It don't.
But money grows on people flush money down the drain on a toothpick tree?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, exactly.
No? Okay.
No. So, yeah. But anyway, well, that was our thoughts on episode 7 of season
was
10. The day the Earth
make
disappeared,
sure
which it didn't disappear. But this animated season's about to disappear.
it didn't. Yeah, you're right. It didn't even really actually disappear. I actually want to really follow up on that. I think earlier on I said like, does it disappear? We'll see. It doesn't. It moves.
It does.
I think actually one of the most disturbing things about this entire thing is that we don't know what overall impact this has had on the Earth's magnetic shielding and the magnetosphere, because that's scary.
Right.
Also, we are not reassured that the Earth was put in the same orbit it was dragged from.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just told that it was.
So if we got pulled kind of eccentric, so that like half of our orbit is like as close to the sun as say Mercury, and the other half is as far away as like Mars, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think the turtles can fix that.
I don't think they can come out and fight
I'm
that.
just gonna say it.
No.
If you said turtles come out and fight, fix a highly eccentric, like elliptical Earth orbit around the sun, I'd be like, I think we're dead.
Yeah.
I think turtles are dead.
Yeah.
I think everyone's dead. So
just
yeah. But yeah, no, it didn't disappear. But another episode of the animated series remaining did disappear. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, if you like episode reviews like these or other stuff, check out our live show at 8:00 on Thursday nights. We do the thing live. You know what I'm saying? So come check out all these cool Turtle Soup actions that we
indeed. Do. And yeah.
Have a good one.
What so
well, we still had to end the review.
That's true. We did. That was good.
Clip. We never ended the clip.
That's true. So there you go.
Now we're gonna do the end of the podcast.
Now we get it. Yeah. Okay.
If it wasn't for me,
yeah,
you'd be in the editing room like, why didn't we end the clip?
I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? We never gave a good outro.
I don't know. I don't know how to fade anything.
Trailed off again.
I can't fade out.
We're really good about that. We've been making the flawless outros right into the outro of the show. We've been doing a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Today we dropped it. But I mean, today was a weird episode because I feel like I thought your notes were my notes for a minute.
Yeah.
I said turtle sep on the outset. I mean, the first thing I said was turtle sep. Like,
yeah,
it was bad.
I think there
was some bad.
I think it's a Freaky Friday kind of situation with us, but like all the mistakes that I usually make are the ones you're making tonight. So like that could be what it is.
Is this what it feels like to be Eric?
It's not far off.
Let me look downstairs. Oh, claymation. Yep. That's
what
it is.
There you go. Goodness.
Oh my God. Well, thanks so much, guys, for showing up live, for listening to the podcast later on. We really appreciate it. If you want to get a hold of us, you can always hit us up at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. That's where you can send that. That's a hotline. The shell phone rings. It rings right there.
You do.
We're on socials, Insta. You know what I'm saying? The Insta, the Facebook group is hot fire. If you are not subscribed to YouTube, please do so, because we do have that contest running. You can win that party wagon. I'm going to pull it out right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling it out right now.
Oh,
I know
snap.
if you listen to a podcast, you're like, well, I hate this part of the podcast. I hate your face, Ryan. But I'm going to say that this is it. It's still sitting here on the desk. You know what I'm saying? It's good to go. Y'all can win that thing. Subscribe on YouTube. You got to do that. Leave a comment on a YouTube video. Get that done. Enter the Turtles, come out and fight that email contest. You know, come out. How do the Turtles fight the end of the animated series and their eventual decline in the 90s? How do they do that? Write us an email. That's an extra ticket. And if you're a patron, that's a ticket. And speaking of Patreon,
I'm all ears.
thank you so much to our patrons who are amazing.
Yes.
Also, as another note, you can become a patron. You can help Turtle Soup not say clang. It's not that hard, but we kind of constantly need help because, like,
we do.
Things say clang. I've had these headphones since Eric and I met. Literally, these are as old as our weird platonic partnership.
Exactly.
And one day they're going to break, and I'll be SOL, but not for patrons. You know what I'm saying? Patrons make it happen.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? So go to patreon.com, check out Turtle Soup Show, see we done been making that podcast. Hop on there, help out the show. Thanks so much to our patrons, past, present, and future.
Absolutely.
You guys are amazing. And is there anything else that you wanted to say, Eric? Oh, don't forget, no Thursday episode this next week, guys.
Yeah.
because we are reviewing that last episode. So we're doing that episode 8, last season, season 10. It's the end of the whole thing.
Right.
We're going to be live Saturday, October 9th at 8 p.m. with the pregame show. You're not going to want to miss it. It's prime time.
Right. It's prime time. That's how we do it. That's how it's a
time.
proper
So,
send off, if you will. So
Until the next prime time.
else time.
Else time.